I all decided to do a quick update on my progress with my modifications of the Bergepanzer Tiger. As you can see, I've got the wheels on and the tracks on. They're not settled yet, they just went on a couple of hours ago. These Dragon DS, I don't want to take it all apart just now, it's still not just firmed up. The DS tracks had a couple of the guide teeth bend over, so I'm going to have to spot one side sitting a little high. There's one or two bent in there. I give that all a day or two to dry before I dig back in, and of course put the sag in as well, which I'll have the same problem up there. But other than that, it's been base coated, and that's as far as I've gotten. So we'll take a quick spin around it and we'll go back. Point out some of the features. And it's hitting there, of course. We'll go all the way around. Just to point this out, that's not staying. One of the, what do you call it? Not clamp, forgetting the proper term for it. One of these little buggers went flying off when I was painting, as I put a little bit of tension on the chain and it popped. Hasp, I guess is the term. And it went sailing, so I was able to find that in the spares, so I was just test fitting it. So I'll have to deal with that. The chains are a bugger to paint. So I've kind of given up on that for now. I'll end up probably having to do it by brush, because with the airbrush they just want to go shooting everywhere, except in the stream. Now, again, I don't have the pins in, so I can just take this on and off as I need to. And there's our winch. Now, this side is pretty much box. I am planning on adding some wood or some logs along the fender here for later use. The kit, for some reason, doesn't include a lot of stuff. One of the items I've had to dig out of my junk drawer spares is fire extinguisher. The jacking block has been added as well. This kit didn't come with a whole lot of detail parts or tools. Anyway, let's see if I can get some light in here. You can see where I've relocated those big toe loops up to there, the specialized ones. They still look useful in there. Now, oops. Over here's where we start to get a little bit more interesting. I found this box. I think it was meant for a radio set and a half track, and decided it looked reasonably like a junction box. I'll focus. So let's see if we can get a little bit better light. So I tossed that on and just took some spare wire I had around and decided to add some, I guess, positive cable and a negative cable. They'll be painted up differently to make it stand out. I added a second fire extinguisher over on this side, just because apparently the electric motors and these things, or the electric drive, did have some problems. These two boxes, oops, this one and this one, also came out of the spares drawer to get added in. Same thing with the extra light. I decided, since so much of the work on this thing in theory would be going on off the back, and probably under a reasonable bit of cover of darkness, they'd want a work light back there. So that got added on. And the kit didn't really come with any Pioneer tools, so those all came out of spares. They got tossed on as well. And same with this box. I can't remember where this came from, but I'm just trying to tart this thing up. Again, in the front it was only supposed to have one headlight, I added in a Novak, and for all three of the lights. Oops. I've added in some wire for them. There's going to be a lot of stowage on this, a lot of equipment, and a lot of details. And this is the base I'm probably going to use as well. And do sort of a diorama slash vignette. I've got some figures coming. I have to buy a whole box or a whole set just for one figure who looks like he's actually pulling stuff, and I'm probably going to position him back about here with wire coming off there, running through one of the return pulleys. I can attach the stuff. I've shown you this before. One of these. Oops. Pulling one of those with the cable latched onto one of the mounts in there, and the other end coming off the winch itself. And I'm still not sure if I'm going to use that figure or not. But that's where I'm at just now. So I've still got all my my camouflage paint to put on, and then my detail paint, and then move on from there. But I'm just kind of documenting this now in case it goes horribly, horribly wrong. At least I've got something to prove I made it this far. Let's see if I can get it around without dumping it. Not much to see at the front here. I am really surprised that they didn't build themselves a bigger superstructure on these things. I'm not sure what the crew of these would be. Would be 3, 4, or 5 guys, but that's awfully small and cramped. And considering they'd have a handle and almost like a periscope type assembly sticking down from the roof for that MG, and they'd have the back of that MG sticking in there. And that's a lot of poking in the ribs in a fairly small, tight space. Anyway, that's where we're at just now. Next time you see it, it'll probably be a little bit closer to completion. Or at least it'll have some makeup on it. Mostly brown and green. Yeah, there's it. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a shot of the cabling I put in boxes. Anyway, take care, guys.